Hello and welcome to this episode of our podcast where we will be discussing the life of one of America's most revered figures, George Washington. Born on February 22, 1732, in Westmoreland County, Virginia, George Washington is known for his role in the American Revolution and as the first President of the United States. Washington grew up on a tobacco plantation in Virginia and received a basic education. However, his life would soon take a different path when, at the age of 21, he was appointed as a major in the Virginia militia. Washington gained military experience fighting in the French and Indian War, and was eventually promoted to the rank of colonel. When tensions between Great Britain and the American colonies began to rise, Washington became an influential figure in the push for independence. In 1775, he was appointed as the Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, which was formed to fight against British forces. Washington led his troops through a series of battles, including the famous winter at Valley Forge, and ultimately played a crucial role in securing American independence. After the war, Washington became a key player in the formation of the new nation. He presided over the Constitutional Convention in 1787, where the United States Constitution was drafted. In 1789, he was elected as the first President of the United States, serving 2 terms in office. Washington's leadership was instrumental in establishing the role and authority of the presidency. During his presidency, he helped to establish a strong federal government and worked to develop a national economy. He also established the precedent of a peaceful transfer of power by refusing to seek a 3rd term, a tradition that has continued to this day. Despite his many accomplishments, Washington was not without his faults. He owned slaves throughout his life, and his treatment of them has been the subject of much debate. However, his legacy as a leader and a symbol of American values is still celebrated today. In conclusion, George Washington's life was one of great significance and influence. From his early military career to his leadership during the Revolution and as president, he played a pivotal role in shaping the course of American history. Despite his flaws, he remains an important figure in American culture, and his impact on the nation continues to be felt to this day. One of the defining characteristics of George Washington's leadership was his commitment to the ideals of democracy and self-governance. He believed in the power of the people and the importance of representative government, and worked tirelessly to establish a strong and stable democratic system in the United States. Washington also demonstrated exceptional leadership qualities in times of crisis. During the American Revolution, he was faced with numerous challenges, including a shortage of troops and supplies, low morale among his soldiers, and the constant threat of attack from British forces. Despite these difficulties, he remained calm, composed, and resolute, inspiring his troops to persevere and ultimately achieve victory. Washington's contributions to the formation of the United States are many, but perhaps his greatest legacy is his unwavering commitment to the principles of freedom and equality. He believed that all people deserved to be treated with dignity and respect, and worked tirelessly to create a society that reflected these values. His dedication to these ideals helped to lay the foundation for a new nation, and his impact on American history cannot be overstated. Of course, Washington's life was not without its challenges and setbacks. He faced personal tragedies, including the death of his beloved stepdaughter Patsy, and was also plagued by health problems throughout his life. In spite of these difficulties, however, he remained steadfast in his commitment to his country and his fellow citizens. In his later years, Washington became increasingly concerned about the future of the United States and the dangers posed by political division and partisan strife. In his farewell address, delivered in 1796, he urged Americans to put aside their differences and work together to build a better future for all. His words continue to resonate today, reminding us of the importance of unity, cooperation, and civic responsibility. In conclusion, George Washington was a visionary leader whose contributions to American history are immeasurable. From his early years as a young soldier to his presidency and beyond, he devoted his life to the ideals of freedom, democracy, and self-governance. His legacy continues to inspire and guide us today, reminding us of the enduring importance of these values and the responsibility we all share to uphold them. As a military leader, George Washington was known for his strategic thinking and ability to adapt to changing circumstances. He was also known for his courage and determination, often leading his troops from the front lines in battle. Some of his most famous military victories include the Battle of Trenton and the Battle of Yorktown, which helped to turn the tide of the American Revolution. Washington's leadership during the Revolution was not without controversy, however. He faced criticism from some of his fellow officers, as well as from members of Congress, for his cautious approach to battle and his reluctance to risk his troops unnecessarily. Despite these criticisms, however, Washington remained steadfast in his commitment to securing American independence and ultimately proved to be a skilled and effective military leader. As president, Washington was equally dedicated to the principles of democracy and self-governance. He worked tirelessly to establish a strong federal government and to promote the economic and social well-being of the American people. He also played a key role in establishing the United States foreign policy, working to establish friendly relations with other nations and to promote American interests abroad. One of the most enduring symbols of Washington's legacy is his home at Mount Vernon, Virginia. The estate, which Washington began building in 1758, is now a National Historic Landmark and a popular tourist destination. Visitors can explore the mansion and grounds, which include gardens, a farm, and other historic structures. In addition to his military and political achievements, Washington was also known for his personal character and integrity. He was widely respected for his honesty, humility, and sense of duty, and was often referred to as the "father of his country" by his fellow Americans. His leadership and example continue to inspire generations of Americans to this day. In conclusion, George Washington was a remarkable figure whose life and legacy continue to shape American history and culture. His contributions to the founding of the United States, both as a military leader and as a statesman, are immeasurable, and his enduring commitment to the principles of democracy and self-governance serve as an inspiration to all who seek to build a better world. Aside from his leadership and military achievements, George Washington was also an accomplished farmer and businessman. He was a skilled land surveyor and used his expertise to acquire vast amounts of land in Virginia and the surrounding areas. He also developed a highly successful farming operation, utilizing innovative techniques to increase productivity and profitability. Washington was also known for his lifelong dedication to education. He believed that an educated populace was essential to the success of a democracy, and worked tirelessly to promote educational opportunities for all. In 1783, he even donated $20,000 to establish a national university in the United States, although this idea was never realized during his lifetime. Despite his many accomplishments, Washington was not immune to criticism or controversy. He owned slaves throughout his life and was, by modern standards, complicit in the institution of slavery. However, he did express his opposition to slavery in private correspondence and, in his will, freed all of his slaves upon his death. George Washington's life and legacy continue to be celebrated and studied to this day. His image appears on the $1 bill, and numerous monuments and memorials have been erected in his honor throughout the United States. He is also frequently referenced in popular culture, with appearances in everything from history textbooks to films and television shows. In conclusion, George Washington was a complex and multifaceted figure whose contributions to American history and culture are truly remarkable. His leadership, dedication to democracy and education, and commitment to personal integrity continue to inspire and influence Americans to this day, reminding us of the enduring importance of these values in our society. Thank you for listening to me.